All right, everybody, we are live again, Dynasty Mirror Search for Uhuru. And I have the brother, Dr. Kalo Black, with us on with us this evening. And we're going to be discussing, I don't know if people are familiar with, and we kind of hinted on this on previous programs, Fihankra. And help me fill in the gaps, Dr. Black. So Fihankra was land that was promised or set aside for Black Americans, descendants of the slave trade, because a tribe uh, was coming to grips with the role they played in the slave trade. Am I correct?
Correct. The Aqua Mu.
The Aqua. Okay, okay. And so basically, what happened? Um, In fact, Doctor, I'm just gonna let you go ahead and jump right into it, so I don't butcher up because you know more than me. But we'll get right into it, and you can kind of just start off. We'll start from the beginning, and then I'll ask questions. I know people in the chat room will have questions.
Okay.
We'll just take it from there.
Well, perfect. Well, basically, it starts off as a beautiful story. So here you have a tribe that remembers through its history of an incident that they actually, through some infighting, sent off 400 of their own people, give them to the white man to be enslaved and taken into the transatlantic slave trade. So here you have in 1993 a situation where the Council of Chiefs, the elders come together, and the Aqua Mu people say, "Hey,
brother, can I interject real quick? So let me ask you this: when we sold each other, or when they sold us into slavery, did they know or have an idea what was going to happen to us?"
Well, yes.
Okay.
Recently, just this year in Ghana, the Chiefs did a formal apology for their role in, really, just to put it blatantly, giving their brothers up and putting them in a position of slavery, whether it's for the things that they were getting through trade, whether it was for wine or guns, but yes, there was a role in the people that they contributed to the enslavement of their own people for financial gain or for some method of merchandise they wanted that were provided by the Spanish and other people from Europe.
Well, let me ask you this, Dr. Black. What do they have to show for it today? Because obviously the white people got the better end of the deal versus
Correct.
Africans. Like, what do they have to show for it today?
Well, if you really think about it, they really don't have much to show for it. And part of the reason is because Ghana still pays tribute to their colonizers, their government each year. Same thing that happens in Togo. The French colonists or the colonies that they turned into, they still pay tribute even today. So they really didn't gain anything, and except for the temporary pleasures that they received from the traders.
Wow. Okay, so go ahead and continue. I just had to ask that question.
So as I was saying, the story starts off really well, right? You have a people who recognize their part in handing their brothers over in a situation where they were enslaved. You have this chiefs in other areas saying, "Hey, we recognize this in whatever role we may have played, and so we're going to make available about 30,000 acres of land in different regions, currently in the eastern region, to all the diaspora, African Americans, Haitians, people who were taken to Brazil, anybody who wishes to repatriate to Ghana. And that was beautiful. And that happened in 1993. That started in 1993. But it turned out to be a nightmare that resulted in death of 2 African American women as confusion and greed got involved in something that was supposed to be beautiful, and it still today has not been resolved. Been resolved fully.
So you're talking about Fihankra, correct?
Yes, yes.
Now I thought this started like in the 70s, or like didn't the first family from, was it Philadelphia, came in the 70s, or was it not to the 90s?
Right. There was a guy named Gerald Simmons who actually was working, the primary person working on those things. What happened is in 1993 is when the deaths occurred.
Mm-hmm. Now that the deaths happened, that deaths just happened maybe 4 or 5 years ago, right?
I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. I'm sorry. I'm still getting confused. 2003, the deaths occurred with 2 women, very elderly, in the elderly ages, and they were related to the people who are currently in Fihankra right now, to this woman who is primarily the overseer of the land currently as we speak.
Okay. I thought the deaths were like just recently, like 2012 maybe, or was it 2003?
No. As of 2013, there were 8 families left. The deaths, let me look on the deaths. Actually, the chief died in 2008, and the chief died in 2008. The actual giving of the land happened in 1994. It was actually 1994 that the land was given, not 74.
Okay. All right. I'm reading an article. Now, this lady's from Detroit, or is it this is a separate one?
Yeah. No, they're from Detroit.
My bad. I said Philly, Detroit. All right. Ex-Detroit activist 75 and her sister slain in Ghana. And this was in 2015. This was just recent, I think. Yeah, this is 2015. Hold on. Let me
she didn't die in 2015.
Okay, she didn't. Okay. And Jeanette Salters, what was her name? She was 75, her sister was 60 at the time of death.
Yes. And the other one was 72, I think.
Well, it says she was 60. She was 75 and her sister was 60.
75, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm going pretty much off memory of my discussions that I've been having in Ghana when I was in Ghana and just came back.
Okay. I mean, this right here, I think it says 2015, or that's when they were killed. But anyways, so now when you say the chief, that was the first guy who came from Detroit in the 70s, correct?
Yes. And he has a son, and there was a woman who currently right now is the one controlling the Fihankra group and has it gated off as we speak. No one can enter. They won't allow anyone enter. There's been some problems because the chiefs actually in 2014, the stool was taken from them actually by the police. The police came and took the stool from them. That's given to a tribe, so to speak, of rulership over the Fihankra lands.
Okay, and then this is the stool taken from the guy from Detroit, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
well, of course, he wasn't physically there at the time, but the stool representing the Fihankra land.
Okay, and people were saying that he somewhat illegally or made himself a chief. He wasn't supposed to, or
well, it wasn't him. There was no, the legal part came from the Akwamu people. There was a guy So there began to be infighting amongst the Aquamu people. And there was a guy who said, I'm the chief, made himself the chief. And because there was a lot of confusion, he ended up actually getting arrested for stating that he was a chief, but he was not a chief. And they sent an investigative team out there to actually have him confess on camera that he was the chief, and it resulted in his arrest because he was never given the position of chief over the Fihankra lands. He just declared himself as chief and was using and exploiting that position for his benefit.
Okay, we're talking about a guy from Detroit or some guy that was over the
Yeah, no, okay, so no, you got Gerald Simmons in Detroit, but you also have later on going through time the Aquamu guy who also stated that he was the chief of that land during this fighting that was going on for the Fihankra land.
Okay. So the Simmons guy, he dies in 2008, you said?
Yeah, he died in 2008. And then the royal, they called themselves the royal family at that point, took control of the land. So his son, essentially, would have been supposedly the heir to the chair, so to speak, what they call the chair, or chief.
Okay. Now the land was given to them, but now what were they doing with the land that they weren't supposed to be doing?
Right. So the land was freely given to them. But what they began to do at first was try to sell a plot of land for like $3,500, and people were getting involved and buying land. And then later on, they tried to sell it like at a lease. Each year you have to, pay $200 or $800. It eventually got up to $800. So basically, they were trying to use this land situation to capitalize off of it financially.
And they weren't supposed to.
Right. And then you had the Aquamu people getting upset because they said, okay, the land was given free. If you're making money from it, we want some of the money too. So
right.
here you get this infighting from the land that was originally given free, but now because they're using it to make money, now the Aquamu people are trying to get involved to also make money as a result of what's happening, causing just a fight that was destined to end, unfortunately, as it had.
Okay, so the two women get killed. The chief dies in 2008. So where are we now with the land?
Okay, so as of 2013, there were 8 people still left. And basically, since that time, they've been trying to restructure and get the chair back and reclaim the land, Fihankra land, for the diaspora community. There's actually a group on Facebook called the Fihankra Group that is gearing and trying to set up the organization of government for the Fihankra Group to try to get in good grace with the national chiefs, all the chiefs, in order to try to regain their claim to the Fihankra land and the stool of the right of rulership in those Fihankra lands.
Okay, now is this something that, say, someone off the street is like, hey, I'm interested in land in Ghana, would you recommend somebody partaking in this, or like what would be your?
All right, so what they're trying to do, as they're trying to restitute, and bring things back together for the Fihankra, there's over like 200 people that paid money for land and never even got land.
Oh wow!
So they are working, and there's a lot of abandoned homes right now of actual homes that have been built that are just vacant. So you have a lot of people that's already died off, but you have these other people that have invested money but never got land. So it's really a mess. So though there's a group in Facebook called Fihankra Group, trying to put the organization together. They're still going to have a difficult time because there's a gate there preventing people from coming in. So it's not as easy as just going in there and saying, hey, you know, we have a right to this land. They have hired security there, and it's going to be a fight. And there has been some, you know, methods through legalities that they've been trying to do to get the land under a different type of owners, because by default, Gerald Simmons' son, who still lives there, has the right as the person of that land. So they're trying to go through some legal hurdles, and to me, it's just too messy. But what I began to do through the Kingdom, I call it the Kingdom Project Group, is to establish a method for us to build a bridge to Ghana from the African Americans from America, to be able to have an opportunity to repatriate without having to buy land at all. And we have worked with a chief in Ketchikou, which is the eastern region of Ghana as well, who has given us 1,000 acres free for anybody who wishes to repatriate.
Well, a question. Let's back up for a second. So how can this, if technically the land is for everyone, how can it be passed down to the son if there's really not supposed to be any ownership of the land?
Right. And that makes sense, right? But what they established was more like a royal family.
But they're not recognized. But they're not recognized though, correct? Or am I
right? Well, when you give someone so in Ghana, for instance, most of the time, if you're a chief, the person who becomes the chief after you pass away would be your son. You are usually normally the chief after you pass away.
Right.
So essentially, that is what transpired. So there was a family who was actually running the Fihankra area. The two women who died were part of that family. You see? Okay. So this family, they call themselves, and you can search it out. I mean, the royal family were actually controlling access and who comes. Matter of fact, even people who paid, they end up taking their money and then telling them they couldn't even stay in the property anymore because they were using the money for their own gain.
Wow.
So they really took control of that land, and that's why, to me, until the legalities are taken care of and a government is established over that land, it's really going to be a mess. But when it does get worked out, I think there should be an equitable way of allocating land to the diaspora community who wish to repatriate. And to me, if you've been given land for nothing, we should be able to have a plot at least of land for nothing. It shouldn't cost us anything to develop and to build. And then if we want to use corporate economics to build schools, to build industries within that group, then you can invest or whatever to build. But to me, if it was freely given, you should be giving it to us freely as well.
Right.
And that's why when I work with the chief in Ketchikou, that to me, I didn't even want to deal with you if you're trying to sell land, because to me, it is our right. It is our heritage that we have the land and it be given to us freely and to be accepted back. To me, that's just the basic element of repatriation.
Right, but you're saying that now, as far as land ownership, it isn't like here in America where you have your own plot of land, and as far as under the system you're speaking of, where you have your own plot of land and is your own title and whatnot. You're saying
it doesn't work that way, right?
How does it work?
It's a little bit different. I mean, you could eventually, in a situation where once you have land and that plot of land, get the title for that land. You have to pay someone to actually.
Did you lose your wallet in Africa?
Yes. Thank you. My wallet got stolen in Africa, and my dad just gave me a new wallet.
Oh wow.
Anyway, but there are legal ways to actually say that you own this plot of land, and you can have it surveyed. You pay for someone to come survey that land, and then it goes into the records that this is your land. So there is methods of doing that. Yes, there are. But in this case, you're not physically paying for it. It was given. Unlike some African Americans who are actually buying land physically out there for costs and going through the process to actually own and have the title to that land.
But as far as like passing it down to your family, are you saying that's not possible?
No. Once you've established the title to that land, yes, you could pass it down. Matter of fact, in dealing with some of the landowners in the Volta region of Ghana, I actually saw the will or their title, which basically said that this was given to their generation. They gave me a copy of that when I was looking into possibly buying land in the Volta region. So you can do that. Normally, if you're not a citizen, you didn't even have a right to buy land. They leased the land to you. But this is a different case because it was given to us as a people.
How do you feel about the land leasing system? Honestly, I still don't understand it.
Well, I mean,
like I would want to. Okay, so under your system, will you own the land or is it leased?
Yes, and under the one in the Ketchikou, it's a bit different. The Ketchikou land was given to the wife of a former king.
Okay.
And that land was given to her family for perpetual forever. Mm-hmm. So what they're doing in Ketchikou, for those who are working with the Kingdom Project, who wish to go and repatriate in those lands, they are actually adopting, just to use an American word, or allowing us to be a part of their family. So by default, we also, as a part of their family, have the perpetual right to dwell on that land.
Okay.
So if the chief allocates land for you, that will always be your land, your farms. If you build a farm, you build a house, it will always be yours and never taken.
Everyone, thank you for joining us. CR Frank, Mr. Granger, O'Shea, appreciate the super chats. Rodman Moore, the third, thank you for the super chats. How'd you get your wallet stolen in was it in Ghana?
Say it again.
You got your wallet stolen?
Yeah. I think it was more of I lost my wallet. I had some loose pants and I was rushing. I was in Medina. And all my credit cards, I was actually supposed to still be in Ghana, but I had to leave quickly, of course, because having access to money was the only way I could get money at that point was Western Union. I had some people help me out, but then I had to switch my plane ticket and I left much earlier than I anticipated, but it all worked out in the end. But yeah, all my credit cards, everything was gone in an instant.
Well, brother, we're glad you are okay. We're glad you are okay. Brother, where you originally from?
Well, I was originally from Virginia Beach, Virginia. I moved up in the DC metropolitan area. I've been living here for quite some time, and I love the area. I'm actually an architect by nature, technology architect, BI architect, but I just feel the pull to repatriate to Ghana, and I'm trying to make it so easy for any African American who wants to repatriate that the only thing that they would have to do is invest in their plane ticket. I mean, we have a compound, I call it a transitional home right now, that anybody who wishes to visit Ghana can go there for free. I'm not charging for anybody to stay there. It's a beautiful, beautiful 4-bedroom, marble floors, nice compound.
Where's it at?
And what?
What part of Ghana is it in?
That's it's close to Accra. It's in Accra.
Okay.
It's called Amenfro, and it's about 15 minutes from Medina in the Trotro.
Okay. Okay, let me ask you this. Why Ghana? Like, why Ghana? Why are you attracted to Ghana?
Well, I think it's a natural track. And I think Kwame, who actually made English the official language, because there's many languages in Ghana, but he made English official. And if you read and look closely, Kwame knew that eventually that African Americans would come back, and he wanted to leverage that to further build Ghana, to make it a stronger country by having African Americans easily coming back to Ghana without having as much problems with it. And I think it worked tremendously. So they established English as the language, even though most people speak Tree or Ewe or Akan. But English is a language that is actually binding and making it possible for African Americans to transition in rather easily. So I think it was awesome foresight by Kwame, the former president. And you know, I don't know if anyone knows that it was actually the CIA, with the help of the ambassador, the U.S. ambassador at that time, to overthrow Kwame.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So he was doing things right and was making Ghana a very powerful country, and they were afraid of that. So, you know how they do it. You know, we complain about Russia being in our elections. I mean,
yeah,
we've done our own little dirt, you know, across this world.
Absolutely. Let's see what Paris Milan. Thank you so much for the super chat, Paris. Thank you for donating to the Apostolic Christian Church of Collard Greens over here at the Search for Uhuru channel. Thank you so much for donating and contributing to the Search for Uhuru ministries. We really appreciate it. Thank you. So I mean, so why? Oh, tell us about the house. Now I know people want to know numbers. Now, is this your house? Did you buy it? Did you build it?
No. And this is a good point, because what it's going to do is get you to understand the power of the dollars. Okay, so my first trip to Ghana, I built relationships. And in this relationship, I had a business partner. He's Airway. He opened up a gas station out in the Volta region, and he let me know that he has this place in Ghana. And would I be interested in renting it? So this place that I'm actually renting has already been built. Now, for $250 a month, for this huge bedroom, 4-bedroom, marble floors, vaulted ceiling.
Say that again. How much a month?
$250 a month, bro.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And I'm telling you, the compound, that's just the house, vaulted ceilings. The master bedroom is so big, it's like 3 bedrooms. I mean, soak-in bathtub. The kitchen is humongous. The living room and dining room is, it's just amazing. And then you walk out the door, and I'm telling you that the land mass in the compound is humongous. I had a drone just to get the footage of how big it was, and I paid $250 a month. A month. So I paid for 6 months in advance, and I'm going to keep this house perpetually as long as I can, to use it as a place, a transition place for any African American who wishes to investigate repatriation. They can stay at that place, and we make it available to you. We also are using that place to begin building businesses and opportunities. So those who do wish to repatriate, we will already have an economic base prepared that is generating income to go back into the community So people don't have to immediately try to figure out how they're going to make money when we've already established that economically. We're also building a agriculture base that will, of course, not only feed the people who wish to repatriate, but also so we can begin to build trade within the African community and even in other African countries. Working with companies like the Ledge Group, which is also based out of Detroit. It's based out of Detroit, where they're buying land in Kenya and implementing farms and things. And we really respect what they're doing out there. We have a different approach because we don't charge for membership. We actually just, hey, let's pool our resources together, leverage the dollar and the buying power of the dollar, which is right now, the exchange is like 4.7. So that's a 470% increase in your buying power just when you exchange your dollar. So, and then, I mean, a day laborer for the whole day is $15. So you can actually build a huge base economically and then benefit the Ghanaians by providing opportunity.
So as far as building the house, the cost involved in it, like, do you know by chance? I mean, that's the stuff a lot of people want to know. Like, how much does it cost to build the house?
Well, it depends. Okay, so all right.
Roughly.
So
and
it depends how you do it.
Right?
Because everything is cheaper there because the labor is so cheap. So right now, I can pay a laborer to help me build my home for 40 Ghana cedis a day.
Oh, wow.
So 40 Ghana cedis a day, bro. That is
like 30 bucks.
That's less than $10.
Right.
Oh, excuse me. It's actually, yeah, it's about $10. So that's a whole day labor. And that's actually pretty good because a friend of mine who is a waiter and manager at this restaurant is paid 350 Ghana cedis a month.
Oh my goodness. Can
you imagine that? Now think about that. Now there's a lot of slavery going on in Ghana, as you can see. Mm-hmm. And don't get me wrong, they're very frugal with what they have. And things price-wise, if you go to Medina, the market, you can survive. But it just shows you what we can really do if we come together from a corporate economics perspective and really start doing things that could benefit local Ghanaians, because the Chinese are coming in, the Arabs are coming in, and everybody else is coming in. And then guess who's taking care of their children? Ghanaian women. And believe me, they're paying them probably to watch their children for a month, approximately maybe 150 Ghana cedis a month, and they're only paying them once a month. So they get paid once a month.
Well, hold on. Let me address a couple things in the chat room. Bell, as far as the visa process for Nigeria, because I just went through it. Hold on, where's my passport at? I can show it to you right now. I don't know where my passport's at because I go to Nigeria in 2 weeks. I went to they have a consulate or embassy. Well, I guess it's not really an embassy. It's like a consulate here in Atlanta. So right. I went there, and it's like a 5-day process. But you have to have an invitation letter, and they're strict as hell. Invitation letter. You're gonna have to bring. They're gonna see your bank statements. That's serious. Bank statements. You gotta bring your ID, fill out the the application. It was like $250, and then it's good for 2 years, unlimited entry and exit. And as far as the ECOWAS passport, you just gonna have to find your husband, Bell, in Ghana or Nigeria or somewhere in the west coast of Africa, because pretty much how it's set up. Once you get a passport from one of the countries on the west coast, you pretty much go enter or exit the any of those countries without a visa.
Yes.
Yeah. So I need one of those. The Ecowas. I am looking for a preferably Senegalese wife. The one I had in the works, is kind of on the rocks. Hopefully everything will be worked out. But put it like this, it's just a family, you know, is still working it out with her grandfather. So with my Senegalese wife. So hopefully everything works out. But if not, if anybody knows any Senegalese women, please have them inbox me, email me, send me an email, and we could, you know, make it happen. I need an arranged marriage anyway.
That's funny.
So yeah. So brother, when you Bastin mom, you say you looking for a husband? I got some brothers in Senegal for you. Yeah, Senegal is part of the ECOWAS. That's why I need to find me a wife in Senegal, so I can get my ECOWAS passport and have Senegalese babies and all that good stuff. So yeah. So yeah. Brother, so when do you plan on, I guess, leaving America and going to Ghana, you know, full time?
Well, my goal would be 2019 to have everything established enough where I can move for good to Ghana. So by 2019, by the end of 2019, I want to be marking our 400 years, you know, since 1619. I want to just officially cut my ties to America, and already have established a good foundation in Ghana, mm-hmm. in which to continue to build for others who wish to repatriate to come.
Is you bringing any family with you, or are you pretty much?
Well, believe it or not, some of my sons, my daughters, do want to come. Not everybody. I actually left my wife, who did not want to come. So,
brother, how was that? I'm starting to hear. Now, let me ask you this: before you, okay, here we go. How long were you married, or before you guys broke up?
About 15 years.
Okay, so before you got married, like, did your transition happen while you guys were married, or was it somewhat
while we were married? Yeah, the transition happened while we were married. Yeah.
How old were you when you got married?
This is my second marriage, so I was older. I was mature enough to know, you know what I mean? So I was a lot older.
Okay. I'm sorry that didn't work out.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I shouldn't have married her in the first place. Okay. I had the insights. I had my ancestors tell me. I had the insight, bro. And I still didn't listen, man. I still didn't listen.
Well, brother, you know, I think, in fact, I know everything will definitely work out. And then as far as your kids, now, how old is your youngest?
My youngest is just turned 21.
Oh, man.
She's actually, how old are you? I am actually 48. 48.
God, brother, you look young.
Yeah, bro. I've drank the fountain of youth, man. Literally.
Brother, you're 48 years old.
That's another story, bro. I literally drank the fountain of youth, bro.
He said literally.
I am not joking. Okay. The invisible waters, man, that come from above, literally. I drank them.
Wow. So what we got to do offline.
That's another story, bro.
Okay, yeah. So we gotta, you look young as hell, bro. I mean, if you got rid of the grays, bro, you could pass for 30 years.
I know, you see it.
All right, so Badson Mommy, who says she's looking for a husband, she says she's 43. Do you want to connect with Badson Mommy?
Hey, those guys out in Ghana are seriously getting a lot of American women, man. They're just snatching them up.
What they're doing, they're getting these fat old white European women for green cards. That's what's going on out there. Or am I wrong?
No, man. No, they are snatching up American women. Seriously. They're African American women. They're snatching them up.
Yeah, because when I'm traveling around Africa and I see all these Rastafaris smoking weed and banging fat old white women.
Wait a minute, we're in Nigeria?
No, when I was in everywhere I go, every country I've been to in Africa, damn near. Rastafaris are everywhere.
Yeah, man. I didn't see that much. I didn't see that much in Ghana.
Oh,
I didn't see that much.
They're definitely there. You go to any beach. I don't know. Rastafarians, they just love water and beaches. So you go to any beach, they're there.
Yeah, it's funny though. I had some stories, man. They're out there. They call them. What do they call them?
Beach boys.
Prostitutes. That's what they call them.
Yeah, Rasta boys or whatever.
Prostitutes. That's what they call them. Prostitutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every country I've been to in Africa, you'll see them hugged up with some old fat white European woman and smoking weed. I don't know what Rastas do. I don't know if that's the Haile Selassie that was in I just don't get it. I mean, I got a couple cool Rasta friends, I don't talk too bad about them. I got a couple cool ones. But
hey, these are dreads. Hey, don't hit too much, man.
Yeah, I don't know where the weed in the old. I don't know where Haile Selassie says smoke hella weed and get with old fat white women. Fat white. Where he said that.
Maybe that's why they're smoking weed. Yo, yeah.
Yeah. So, guys, get the likes up. Get the likes up. Yeah. So, I mean, people who are interested in relocating. Okay, let me ask you this: Why are you choosing to relocate to Ghana? Yeah. Okay.
So, well, look, one of the things that I knew, and now you're getting a little spiritual, but one of the things when I was 19 years old, or 18 actually, I had a spiritual encounter, and one of the things that were said to me was something that had to do with my heritage, but I had no way to confirm it. So now that knowledge has increased, I believe, I understand now who was living in western parts of Africa during the time of the slave trade, right before the slave trade. We have that information. We could see the maps. So, and I know that most of the slave castles are in Ghana. Even though you hear, we came out of Nigeria, we came out of different places, and then we're sold in Ghana, but they were mostly established in Ghana. The Gold Coast, the slave coast. So I feel that pull to Ghana. And one of the brothers that I recently met is, he's part of our team. His name is Albert. And I met his uncle, who's the chief in this area, in this community. And they have verbal history, bro. Seriously, no joke. That goes all the way back to Israel, leaving Israel, going into Egypt, going into Ethiopia, coming out of Ethiopia into the western parts of Africa. I mean, verbal history that goes that far. So I just feel the pull to go back to Ghana. I think it's just a stepping stone of, all the places in the western parts of Africa. But that's why I feel that kind of pull to me.
Everyone, thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button, please. Please hit that like button.
Get them likes up.
Hey, get the likes up, man. I mean, if you're not super chatting, make sure you guys, at least hit the like button to share. And also, too, make sure you, I think O'Shea might still be in the chat room. Make sure you guys go to O'Shea's page and like and subscribe. And also, Paris Milan, she might still be in the chat room as well. So make sure you guys go there and like and share the page as well. Like, share, and subscribe to her page as well. So make sure you guys do that. But brother, what we'll do, man, we'll go ahead and close out. Anything else in closing? Like what? Let me ask you, do you regret waiting till you're about 48 years old to making a move, or do you wish you would have done it earlier?
I wish I had enough sense to do it earlier, yes, because I'm a professional, and I'm one of the more fortunate African Americans, just, to overcome the oppression that we've had to experience here. So financially, I could have did this a long time ago. And with my heart, dude, I could have had a city built for our people and said it's free, because that's what I would have done. Mm-hmm. Because you got repatriates who already are there taking advantage of those who wish to repatriate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because they still have the colonist mindset.
When you say taking advantage, what do you mean?
Okay, so remember I just told you that for $250 a month, I had pretty much a mansion, just about. You got people who repatriated that are paying or having people come stay with them and charging them $100 a week to stay with them. For $400 a month, you could have a 10-bedroom mansion out there in Ghana. You see what I'm saying, bruh? So I wish I would have did it earlier. I would have built the city. I wish I would have met Nana, the chief of Ketchikou. So I would have built the city by then, and I would have had African Americans coming for free. And then we could have really dominated the agricultural market and the manufacturing market and really build wealth in Ghana. And I regret it, but it's never too late. You saw how young I look. So,
yeah, brother, I don't believe you're 48.
I know, man. Dude, I'm telling you, I drank invisible water, bro. Literally. I call it the fountain of youth, but that's another story. I'm telling you.
Well, you know, whenever you're ready to share the ingredients or the formula, please.
The formula, I'm going to tell you the formula right here. I have a heart of King David.
Taking notes. Go ahead.
Have a heart of King David.
Go ahead. Taking notes. Go ahead.
That's the formula.
Say it one more time.
I said, have the heart of King David. That's the formula.
Okay, and King David had a lot of hoes too. So
hey, I didn't say hoes. I said heart. Hey, in Ghana, you can have multiple wives too, man. So hey.
Oh wow. Okay. Somebody said you are a black vampire. You are what was the Eddie Murphy movie? Vampire.
He said I'm a black vampire.
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You vampire in Brooklyn.
That's how I stay young.
Now, how was it dealing with the Chiefs? Because I know some of these Chiefs be shady. So the Chiefs.
Yeah. Okay. So you got they're selling gold under the covers, funding their kids away in Switzerland, and the UK. No doubt, they're doing that. But the chief in Ketchikou is a little different. Mm-hmm. He's more along the ways of our ancestors. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, he said if we bring people there who don't have pure hearts, that we would be. It might be us that's lying dead somewhere, because their land is pure. Mm-hmm. They don't play that. They don't want the colonist mindset. They don't want the. I mean, they don't really even like a lot of the people who are in Accra. It's just a different relationship, but it's you give respect. You give respect to the chiefs. This chief really is empowered to take care and govern the people, and he farms. He's 120 years old and still farming.
Wow.
Out there in Ketchikou.
And how far is Ketchikou from Accra?
What?
How far is Ketchikou from?
It's about almost 3 hours away in the mountains. It's surrounded by mountains.
Oh wow.
Yes. It's beautiful. And there's a spring literally that runs from the mountain all the way through the village. And you can see it bubbling out of the mountain. They call it the holy water. And they won't let you do anything, but you could drink from it, but they don't, they want to make sure you're not washing with it. You could just drink from it. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful.
Cool. Let's see what else we got in the chat room. Oh, what's your let me put your contact information in the chat room. What's the best way to contact you? The email, is that okay if I put your email address in the chat room?
Sure. You can put that in the chat room. Also, you can get me on Facebook, and I'm Kloe, and that's K-L-O-E Black, and I'll pop up. Or you can reach me at the Kingdom Project Group, or it's KPJ Crossover. That's us on Facebook.
Okay, let me put your let me throw your email in here.
Yeah, so anybody interested in repatriating, we help you. We also help with logistics. We can really curb your costs, and we do it because we love our people. That's it.
Now, is this service only for Ghana, or could you do this all over Africa?
My goal is to do it all over Africa.
But right now it's just for Ghana?
Right. We're working on Cameroon. we're working on Nigeria and hopefully Kenya.
Have you been to Nigeria yet? Where all in Africa have you been so far?
I've been in Togo
Okay.
and Ghana. My next trip, I want to go to Nigeria and Kenya. I'm actually working with this girl that's from Nigeria, who I was looking into buying land out there to see what I can do out there. For those who want to go out there.
Now, brother, do you think there should be a mass Black exodus out of?
Yes, I do.
Well, why? Like, give your reasons why.
Well, look, man. I believe that we need to use our sense of logic.
Right.
Okay. And when you see your brothers and sisters being killed in the street,
right.
and choked for cigarettes, and then the guys they don't even get arrested or thrown into jail, you need to really start thinking you need to get out. I mean, to me, it doesn't take much to really figure it out. I mean, these people, to me, honestly, the part of freedom. Let me end on this story. There was a guy I met. He told me he was in the secret organizations. He was a Black man. Ended up having to leave to save his life. He said, until you, by your own will, physically come to Africa and put your feet on the ground, these people still consider you a slave. That's what they think. That's what they do, and that's how they act. So, hey, I just believe not only does it make sense from an economic perspective to maybe get you out of the situation, in this cycle of poverty or oppression, I think it just makes sense that when, just from a, you must be crazy if you're not looking at Africa kind of a thing. That's how I feel. You're just crazy.
What do you see playing out here in America in like the next, I would say, 4 or 5 years?
Well, I think what's going to happen at first, right now, under Trump, you have the lowest unemployment rate for Blacks. Okay, we give them that. We're about facts, but I think it's a trap. It's a trap, man. Because what's happening also, the undercurrent of that is mass racism. People feeling comfortable with the racism. And not only that, but you have these white nationalists who are starting to get in positions of power. So look, I think it's a trap. I think Rex 84 is real. I think what they said that what they would do is real. And I think in every administration, that's a possibility. And I just think that our brothers and sisters are more important than that. And I think we need to really think of an exit strategy. And I think Ghana is a perfect place because the World Bank said it's going to be the fastest growing economy in 2018. And I think that, we need to jump on it while we can to leverage the buying power of the dollar.
So do you think, like, for me, the issue I have with Ghana still is this whole land lease thing. I still don't get the idea and concept of it. I just want to own my land.
Right. Well, part of that is because you're not a citizen of Ghana. See, even though Kwame made it possible for us to return, but there's still no clear track for us to become citizens. And
without getting married. Bullshit.
What?
But of course we get married though, I would think.
Yeah, right. But to me, that's where the problem is. And we shouldn't be discussing about the land lease problems. We should be coming together as a people to say, hey, we heard your apology that you gave to us this year, just last month, or actually it was this month, but give us the rightful right that we deserve to become citizens of Ghana. But to me, that should be a give me. But they're milking it for us for money. Oh, you can stay 2 months, then you got to resubmit your information. You got to pay. I mean, it's a business for them. We become a business for them. So to me, show us reparations. You know what I'm saying? Let us become citizens, and that'll solve the problem.
Absolutely. Well, brother, I appreciate you joining us this evening. We got to have you back too. we got to have you back too. So everyone, thank you for joining us. Make sure you guys check this brother out. Make sure you go follow him on Facebook, like, subscribe, add him. Make sure you guys email him too if you have any questions. I'll put the email address in the chat. So make sure you go to the chat. I mean, make sure you go to the email him. Email address is in the chat. So make sure you guys ask him any question. Bell, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. And also, guys, make sure you go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. Hey, Jonathan Hill, shoot me an email, Jonathan. Shoot me an email about the meeting in a couple weeks. Shoot me an email. Yeah. Make sure you guys go to Search for Uhuru on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, Africa Personified on those same platforms. Make sure you go to searchforuhuru.com, dynasamir.com, amazon.com, search your name, Dynasamir. Also go to africapersonified.africa. Dr. Kalo, what's your Facebook information again? People are asking, so I can put it in the
K-L-O-E Black.
Right.
So Kalo Black, K-L-O-E Black.
On Facebook, guys. That's his information. So check him out.
Yep.
But everybody, brother, Dr. Black, thank you so much. Where'd you go to college at?
I went to University of Phoenix, sir.
Okay. Everybody, well, once again, thank you for joining us. Again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, Dr. Black, and really,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, people found value in this, and that's what matters. So until next time, family, peace.